Hello guys and welcome to a predecessor tier list. This is going to be my take on a 5 stacking tier list. Who are the best for 5 stacks, a coordinated 5 stack, and what characters would increase your odds of winning in a coordinated setting. This is not for solo queue or for an uncoordinated setting. This is if you're queuing up with your friends or 5 stack that is well coordinated and working together in good comms. So gonna go over how this works. I have SS tier, S tier, A tier, and B tier and C tier. So means they're overtuned and need some nerfing. S tier just means they're strong. It doesn't necessarily mean they need nerfs or anything like that. They're just really strong characters because of the value they bring to the team. And that's really it. A tier, just good characters. All around a good character. You can never go wrong picking this character. You pick this character, you're gonna be fine. No one's gonna scoff at it. Oh, we spelled balance. Let me adjust that quick. But B is for balance. B tier is for balanced. They're just a balanced character. They don't need nerfs or buffs or anything like that. They're fine. You know, they're not going to hurt your team. They're not going to, help you increase, bring crazy values to the team. Just a solid character. And the C tier is just struggling. These characters need help. They need some buffs and some aspect with it. That's their itemization, their abilities, or damage, or whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and hop right in. So we're going to start with Countess, the latest released character, just released a couple weeks ago. And I think she's in the S tier right now. She's pretty strong. She's barely in the S tier though. The only reason I don't put her in A tier is because her healing is really good and her capability of just her snowball is insane. Even if she gets behind, she can come back really quickly and get online and just one shot any of your squishies in very quick succession. She just could be really hard to kill with her sustain if you're not building anti-heal. And in a coordinated setting, she's really good at diving the backline with another tanky character that can help her with that. If a Sev goes in with her, wherever she's playing, it can really be difficult to, peel them off and keep your carry or mid laner safe when both of like the tank and his Countess is on them. She's really good in the early and mid game if she's in jungle, getting early ganks, getting people who are out of position. She's really scary. She can delete squishies in a matter of like a second. Very spooky character, very good for if you're looking for a good assassin to add to your 5 stack. If one of your friends or anybody can play them, great value. Best assassin in the game at the moment. Because the only really other assassins we have is Kallari and Feng Mao. Where is Feng? There he is. Yeah, right here. He's kind of an assassin. You can build him a couple different ways. But let's get into Crunch. I think Crunch is also S tier. By the way, if I put them in front of a character, it does mean they're better than them. But Crunch is S tier. He was a strong pick right now. Not SS. I would have put him SS if we were pre-nerf of Mutilator and Crunch. But now he is back down to S tier. He's just strong. Very, very good offlaner. Very strong offlaner. Once he hits level 6, that is like his biggest power spike, and when he gets Mutilator, he just absolutely smacks. He can rotate early, has great mobility, he can close the gap really good, great at initiating, and delete people in seconds. He can 1v3, 1v2 if he has the lead. He's just an all-around great brawl bruiser type character. Really hard to take down if you don't have CC or you're not really focusing him. The only thing he really struggles at is if he gets locked down. If he goes in on the back line, gets locked down, he can get killed really quickly. But if the team's not doing that, and in a coordinated setting, if you have somebody following up, he's just really strong at that. He's just really hard to take down with his itemization, with augmentation, bone saw, and mutilator right now is just really what people want to run on him. And if he builds like Unbroken Will and UCC him, it's gonna be even harder to kill him. He's just a solid tank at abusing his lead and rotating out early if you can get a lead, and just putting your team farther ahead. And really, he's really scary with his CC chains, and you can't beat a Crunch in a one-on-one if he's even slightly ahead, or even if you're on even ground. Dekker, I'm gonna put in S tier as well. Actually, nah, I think she's A tier. A lot of people are gonna probably be surprised about this one, but my opinion on Dekker is that a lot of people overvalue her. And the reason I say this is because all she really has is a stun and that cage. The cage is okay, but it doesn't last that long. The max it lasts is 3.25 seconds, I believe, and that's at max level, and you want to max your stun first for the cooldown. That's their best ability. And I mean, early game, that cage is only up for like 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. And it's just not good enough, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, you can zone people off, but for only like 2 seconds, it's not very good. There's other people who can do that way better. Um, Her alt's also just lackluster. It's just a circle with a teeny tiny circle in the center that stuns people. It's not reliable to hit. It's just not good. I just think it's really bad. And her other ability is just a line that slows. She does good damage as a support, but that's not why you pick support. And I just feel like she's lackluster when it comes to her peel and her initiation. She's definitely not bad, but she's not as good as people are saying she is. She is a solid pick though in support, and you can never go wrong with her. She is a good support, great support if you build her cooldown, and you're supposed to build supports, right? Full CDR. You have your stun up every couple seconds. Very strong character. I just don't think she's as good as people say she is. Drongo, gonna put in A tier. I think Drongo is the weakest link when it comes to the carries that are in the game right now. And I just think he's just not S tier like Murdock or Sparrow. And the reason why is because Drongo kind of plays like Murdock. Murdock is a kiting machine. He's really good at keeping himself alive and bobbing and weaving, keeping enemies off of him and kiting them. Very hard to touch character. Drongo kind of does the same thing, but just worse. He doesn't do it as good. He has really good early damage, though, and he has really good damage in general if you can scale him. But Murdock just has more, and Murdock does what he does better. Uh, Drongo's definitely not bad, though, and he's a great pick. I'm just saying that he's just not as good as Murdock. Murdock's like his big brother, and he's like the little brother. Murdock outshines him. Feng Mao, in my opinion, is the worst character in the game at the moment. He's the only one that's going to go in C tier, and a lot of people are probably going to get mad at me for this, but he just doesn't, in a 5-stack coordinated setting, he doesn't have anything really at all. He goes in, if you play jungle and you go in for a gank, it's just a slow and they can just get away from you. His damage is very lackluster early until you get a couple items online. When other people, like, you have people like Rampage with his stun, Kallari with her massive damage early, Grux with his ZC. Did you get, Feng Mao doesn't have any of that. He just has, I guess, good sustain with his shield, really just keeping himself alive. But even then, it's really easy to kill Feng. Really easy to kite, and he has a blink, but it's on really high CDR, really high cooldown, and his ult is lackluster in my opinion. It's really not that good. I feel like they need to buff it to where it has a higher execution range, or he's just not going to be that great. Main reason is because with the amount of sustain that's in the game at the moment, with people like Rampage, Chimera, Grux, etc., um, they're just not, they can just heal right through it. And if you go to ult them when they get there, if they get any type of healing, you just don't kill them and you're dead. It's just really not. He's just not that good right now. He takes it a lot. His clear is not good in jungle. He's outboxed in lane. He's just very lackluster. I need to do something to him. Faye is S tier, 110% S tier right now. I think she's amazing. In the mid to late game with a coordinated team, her ult is one of the best ults in the game, if not the best ult in the game, and it can absolutely just wreck team fights. You can get a good fail off, and you pretty much won the game. Not win the game, but won the team fight. You just shut down a whole enemy team. She has really good damage late, other than her ult. But her biggest trade-off why she's not in SS right now is simply because her early game is absolutely terrible. Her early game is horrendous, and if you can put her behind, she's useless. It takes a while for her to get on, and if she never gets on, you just kind of win. When you pick Faye, you're playing for that late game ultimate damage and that just late game damage. But if you can get her online, game's over. Next is going to be Gadget. Gadget is also in S tier, and a lot of people are going to be surprised by this, but Gadget is really strong, and I think she's amazing in a 5-stack setting. To me, Gadget has really good poke early. She has really good not really tankiness, but she can keep her sick. She stays alive for a good amount of time with her passive. She has really good peel for herself with her movement speed and the root. Really good setup with it too. And just amazing, just CC and damage in fights with the slow, this root, the good poke, AoE damage. And her ultimate's amazing. If a Gideon goes in and ults on you and he's not high enough, you can just ult on him and he dies. You know, her ult's amazing for team fights. You know, just dropping one right down onto the enemy team and standing in it. They have to run out of it or in choke points. If they're running at you through a choke point, just drop it down. That could change the whole fight. And on the objectives, you're going to go stop somebody from taking the objective, drop it right on the objective and dive right in. If you're taking the objective and they go dive on you, drop it on yourself. Her ult's really good in team fights and really strong with a good team that can synergize too. If she drops her ult and you have good CC, like a CC ult like Steel, good CC ult like Riktor, you know, that you can just press E and press R and they're dead. They're gonna die 100%. Next is Gideon. Gideon is S tier in my opinion, 100% S tier. Only reason he's in S tier is because of the CC immunity you can get with him in his ult. Once that, if they ever nerf that, he immediately goes down to here. But right now he's an S, simply because of his range, how safe he is, and his ultimate right now is retarded. It's better than Gadget's because of how safe it is, and it can just win team fights. Same thing as Gadget. Take an objective, go in ult. You're taking the objective, ult. CC them in the ult, dead. Any CC at all, you get stun while you're in there, you might as well just go get a sandwich, come back from because of your death timer. Um, Gideon's amazing. He has amazing poke in lane with his range, and if he gets ahead, he can just half health people with one ability. He's really strong, and he's just really safe with his teleport. Grux is overtuned. He is extremely strong at the moment. My man can absolutely 1v5 if he gets ahead, 1v3 with ease if he gets ahead, and if he gets ganked and you're slightly ahead, you might as well just not gank a Grux if he knows what he's doing, because he's just going to 1v2 you and you're going to die. Or he's going to take one of you with you. With him, excuse me. Once he hits level 6, his ult is just ridiculous, and he absolutely shreds anybody. His passive with his dot damage is insane, and his sustain with the heal on his passive is insane. He's just an absolute menace right now with his bruiser brawl build. Hard to kill, massive damage, good sustain. He's just an asshole right now. He's amazing. Really good character. Strong, strong, strong. And in a coordinated team, don't even get to mention, man, he has amazing initiation on objectives with his pull, his knockup, locking down people, pulling in general. Like if you get a big pull off in a fight, that's a one fight right there. You know, pull, double pain, knockup, they're dead. They're 100% dead. Pull, double pain, knockup, all they're all dead, gone. It's insane at what Grux can do. He can get easy picks with the pull as well with unsuspecting people. Good Grux who knows how to initiate will absolutely destroy any team right now, and you will win games with just because of this character alone. Definitely needs nerfs to his passive. Howitzer is S tier right now, 110%. But yeah, Howitzer is insane. He's the best mid laner in the game. His range is stupid. His CC is stupid. His slow is he's just safe. He's just safe, and he just does mad damage from range. His ult, I just go in the air and bring someone down to 20% health for no reason. He forces you to pick somebody who can CC him out of it as well. He's very strong with his poke early. He's a very safe character. Really good with his knock up or knockback, whatever you want to call it, of putting people out of position. Very safe as well. Very strong character. If you see a howitzer and you're taking objectives or in team fights, you have to plan for his ultimate. You have to be like, you ask if you're gonna gank him. Hey, does he have ult? Hey, this Howi's coming. Is he gonna ult? You know, you have to be ready for it. His presence alone with his ultimate is just very scary, and he is a menace to deal with. A very scary character. Best mid laner in the game right now. Next is Kallari. Putting Kallari in A tier, right now because if she doesn't get the ball rolling, she just falls over. Countess, on the other hand, can dodge that. You know, Countess dies early, doesn't get her ball rolling. She can just farm and then get a pick, and she's back online. Kallari, on the other hand, gets behind. She's behind the whole game, and she will never come online. But if Kallari does get online, she stomps. She destroys teams. And early game, if you can get those early ganks off and catch people out of position, she's insane. Late game, she struggles. You have to really be careful on who you're going to go in on, or you just get one shot, CC'd and one shotted. Other than that, her damage is okay. It's great early if you can get a lead. You can one shot people. Very strong character for that area alone in the early game. Chimera, definitely A tier at the moment. 100% A tier, in my opinion. I don't think he's S. Like, he's barely going in the S. The only reason I put him in A is because if you give this man any type of attention, you build anti-heal or CC him in fights or just simply run away from him, he kind of just falls over. Um, if you ignore him, like in solo queue, he stops. But we're in a 5-6 setting, people are going to be like, hey, there's a Chimera there. Let's just, kite him and CC him, and he dies. If you know how to play off of his passive, he dies. If he gets his passive up, CC him, walk away for a second, come back, fight him. He dies. Other than that, he does have pretty good early game. He's a great in the early game. Good alt. If people don't respect you, you will absolutely stomp pubs and you will stomp teams. Belica is second, right behind Howitzer, in my opinion, just because of how much utility she brings to a team in a coordinated setting. Her knockup is insane. It can absolutely decimate people in team fights. If you're in a team fight or you're about to, do a gank on your mid laner, you hit that knockup, they're most likely gonna die, right? Hit a knockup in a fight or initiate with that knockup. If you can get one off, sneaky one off, that person's dead. They're gone. Knock up into another CC or chain by Riktor, gone. Non-existent. They might as well just leave the game. In the combo itself, like I said, knock up bomb, they're at half health, probably lower if you're ahead. And the mana drain is really good in team fights because people aren't going to be looking at it while their mana is just draining, and then you can just one-shot people with their ultimate. She's a really good, really strong mid laner right now at kiting and keeping herself alive. She gets ganked, knocks them up, walks away. It's just a really good character, really good rotating as well with that knockup. She rotates to a left to right lane. Hey, I got knock up, I knock them up. They're probably gonna die. Really good character right now. You should definitely be playing Belica in your 5 stacks. I feel like a lot of people are undervaluing not Dekker, Belica in the mid. Murdock is the best ADC in the game right now. He is insane. This man with his resolution build, 3 shots people. It is dumb. If he gets ahead, he almost one-shots people. He is just dumb. And he kites the living hell out of people. And with his shotgun, people jump on you, shotgun them away, throw down your traps, run around your traps. They have to either walk around or they run into it and they don't catch you and die. Great ultimate. People are low around the map. You just shoot them and they're fucking dead. He's just all around great. Great damage, early game damage. He shreds right now. You can play so aggressive with Murdock because of your kit, and if you know how to play aggressive in lane with Murdock and you have aggressive support, you will dominate lanes and you will absolutely just win so many matchups. It's insane how good Murdock is right now. Muriel is in S tier, but she's almost dropping into A. A lot of people were probably like, "Oh, you're putting Dekker in A, but Muriel in S tier. Like, what's going on?" Muriel's really good early. Her early game is insanely strong, in my opinion, and a lot of people don't respect it. In her laning phase, her Serenity and her basic attacks, mad poke, and debuffing the enemy with those basic attacks and letting your team just shoot, like just giving your ADC more damage. It's amazing. You'll absolutely dominate lanes if you know how to play aggressive with Muriel and outpoke your opponent. Late game with the current meta build right now, which is Time Warp into Martial and a Tainted Totem, you'll have 400 shielding every 2 seconds. And that's insane. If you even have a slight lead or even on even ground and you're just shielding your ADC or whoever every 2 seconds, they're just not going to die if they know what they're doing. And it's going to be a pain in the ass for the enemy team to kill them. It's going to be a absolute pain. She's just really strong. Her ult can save people, can turn the tide in a fight. She's really strong right now. But her weakness is that if you get behind, she can be one-shotted and taken care of and focused by the enemy team with ease. Now we're going to talk about Narbash. Narbash is an A tier. Ashley, put him in B tier. I think Narbash is just balanced. I really don't think he's underpowered or strong or good. He's just a balanced character. I do want some buffs on Narbash because all these other supports right now have way more CC than him, way more utility than him other than that passive heal and that movement speed. And his ultimate is just not good. And a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, it is. It's not. It's terrible. You have to build True Silver Bracelet or you just fall over because people are just going to CC you out of it and you're just going to die in a coordinated setting. Once they see you ult, you're just going to get CC'd out of it and you're going to get blown up. So you have to build True Silver, and even then, if you build True Silver and you have that shield, they're just going to take the shield off of you because it goes away quick and they're just going to CC you out of it and you're going to die. So, I mean, Narbash has really fast rotations and all that, but I mean, that's all he has going for him in his stun. That's it. That's all he has going for him. Other than that, he's countered pretty hard, but if you play him into teams that don't have a lot of CC, he's a force to be reckoned with, and that's why he's imbalanced. I do want some buffs on his ult or somewhere in there to make him a little bit more viable, though, because I want to play more Narbash. He just doesn't feel good to play right now. Rampage is an S tier. He is the best jungler in the game at the moment. He is, well, no, he's not the best jungler in the game. Grux is, but once Grux is tuned down, depending on how they tune him down, Rampage will move up to the best, but he's the second. Um, his rock is insane early game. I mean, all game really, but early game for ganks, if you go in, like coordinate with your mid laner, off laner, or, duo lane, and you're like, hey, I'm coming in, gonna hit a rock. You hit that rock, that person's dead. It's like Belica. That rock is just so good. It's so strong in fights. You hit rock on someone, they're stunned for that long, and they're gonna die. He's really tanky, really abusive. He can just dive into the back line and just cause problems, allowing for, your countess or Kallari or whoever else is diving in your back line to just have free reign because they're dealing with this big ass fish man while big DPS countess or Kallari or whoever else is back there is just eating their ass. It's a problem. Rampage is a force to be reckoned with right now. He has amazing jungle clear as well. A lot of people I don't think are acknowledging that, but Rampage's jungle clear is really fast, and that's really good. So he just out clears Kallari, Countess, out clears Khai, not Grux because it's Grux, but he's just insane right now. Riktor is S tier, right in front of Muriel in the support role. He is insane at the moment in that support role. My man, if you land a hook, they're gonna die. That silence is insane. He does good damage. His ultimate is insane. Can absolutely change the tide of team fights, and it synergizes with Gideon, Faye, Gadget. List goes on. He's insane. He's great. Those hooks, man. If you can land hooks consistently as Riktor, you're gonna get your carry fed. He's gonna love you. You're gonna get your mid fed. He's gonna love you. You're just gonna kill people. You're just gonna pick them off, and one good hook wins a team fight. Great lockdown for Pill as well. Someone dives onto your carry, silence them hook. That's a lockdown for like 3 seconds almost. It's really good. Really strong character right now. Big, big beefy boy too. Tanky. Takes a lot of hits. Amazing. Sevrog is S tier, but almost dropping into A for me. Sev is really good only if you know how to play him. You have to be good with Sev. You have to know how to use Sev. If you don't, you're going to get stomped out of lane. Sev is a pure late game character in the off lane, and you need to get them stacks up, and that's all you need to focus on early. Don't try to take fights unless you know you can. Play safe, get your stacks up. You want 120 stacks by 20 minutes, and build World Breaker, go full tank. And once you get up there, you start rotating out. You're just not gonna die. You're gonna have like 5,000 health. You're gonna be absolutely doing pretty chunky damage while with 5k health with World Breaker, and they're just gonna hate you. They're gonna hate you. They're gonna want to gouge their eyes out because of you. A good Sev, when they get up ahead, if they get fed and you can rotate out even early, great setup. Root into a hammer or just that root in general, very spooky. Front line is insane. Going in on the carries and just bullying them, allowing your jungler or whoever else is with you to go in with you and giving them free reign. He's amazing. Very strong champion right now in a coordinated setting. People who really know how to utilize him. Very good. If you play a late game comp and you stay alive in that early game, you just win late. They can't do nothing about it. Sparrow is S tier, right behind Murdock. I think Sparrow is great just for her damage, her ultimate, and her range. Her kiting's okay, but it's not as good as Murdock. She doesn't even hit as hard as Murdock. She just has really good early game dueling with her attack speed, and she just has really good range for poking out people in lane. And her ultimate is I win, haha. You know, if you just press alt and nobody does anything about you or try to stop you, you're just gonna kill the whole enemy team. It's that easy. And just for that reason, like because she's a hyper carry, if she gets ahead, she just like one shots people. That's why Sparrow is so good right now. But Murdock is not a hyper carrier, and he doesn't need to get ahead to do well. So that's why Murdock's better, and he just kites better, and he just stays alive better. That's what ADC wants to do. Steel is amazing right now, and I think he's just absurd. My man is quite wacky at the moment. He is the best support in the game, by far, hands down. Hands down the best support with Dynamo into Flux and to Tainted or whatever you need to build for your third item, because that's the situational one on supports, like tank supports. But he is absurd right now. His CC in lane, he does good damage. His CC in lane, his displacement with his battering ram, his shield wall, just telling people to stop playing the game. Like for example, if you're taking objectives, just put up a shield wall. They have to walk into you. If you're in a team fight and the Sparrow ults, just put up a shield wall. Her ult's gone. It's useless. It doesn't do anything. She has to shoot into it or go past and put herself in harm's way. His CC as well in team fights, his peel is insane. You have a lockdown for like 3 seconds that's way easier to do than Riktor. You have a ultimate that just wins games. If you just ult, if you even get off a 3-man ult in a fight, they're dead. If you go in, like literally, they're taking Fang, you're coming up on them, in on them, and you just ult them right on top of all of them, they're dead. That's your Fang now. He is insane. He has good damage, great peel, great initiation. He's big and beefy and tankiest character in the game other than Sev, late game, and Rampage. He is amazing. Very strong character. And if you can play him in coordinated 5 stacks with him rotating around, oh my bad, and setting up ganks and just peeling for your carry when he needs to and initiating with that ultimate, you're gonna win so many games. You're gonna absolutely stomp in the support role as Steel. And he's also just good in offlane. He's solid in offlane, but he really shines in support. And that's the tier list. And I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts in the comments on what you think. You disagree, well, like what do you think about it? What do you disagree on, agree on, or what I could probably change, or what they could change on certain characters and make them better. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from this, or whatever. Have a good day. I'll see you in the next video.